Artifacts of sexological history. Hey, it's Alan Ricks here, and I have a story to tell. Some of you know this story, and some of you don't. In my house, and then at the workshops and retreats I do, almost always I have these oversized pillows, these 3x3, essentially 3x3 pillows in these different crazy exotic hippie patterns, and they're great to lay on and things like that. And those pillows actually have a huge history dating all the way back to the 70s, believe it or not. At my former graduate school, the Institute for Advanced Studies of Human Sexuality, for many decades, for a number of decades, in their big classroom, they did not have chairs and little desks like students have. All they had were these big pillows, and they probably had 30 of them. And so it was just this big pillow pit, and you could get down in there and you know, build a little nest that you could really be comfortable in. Very easy to sleep in those kinds of pillows. And when I went to school there in 2000, I believe it was 2001 maybe, that classroom from the 70s still to that day had those pillows as chairs, as their desks. And it was very cool and very comfortable. But, you know, let's recognize that they were just, you know, it was just cotton fabric over a bunch of crushed foam, right? They weren't pillowcases. They were just pillows. And some of them had holes, and they were leaking foam all over the place. And they had tried to clean them over the years, but what do you do? And I don't even know if you could take a whole pillow to be dry cleaned. I'm not sure. And but there they were. And they would try to kind of Febreze them every once in a while or something like that. And, you know, really, it wasn't really, there was nothing wrong with them. Maybe a little old smell, you know, stale, like stale foam, you know, that kind of smell. But for the most part, they made everybody keep any kind of drink outside the room. They were even pretty reluctant in bringing in water. So or food. So in general, they stayed pretty okay. But, you know, this is a sex school, for crying out loud. And who knows what had happened on those pillows over the years. And so they were quite interesting pieces. And while I was there in grad school, they decided to change up. And so they phased out the pillows and stuff. They still had a few in there for people if they needed that, a little alternative to just sitting in a desk, which is fine. But for the most part, they were kind of stuffed upstairs or something like that. And they bought, I believe, I think it was 26 chairs from IKEA. And as an intern, I'm going to let you guess who put every one of those freaking chairs together. 26 of them. and I did have help. There were other people helping. I think just one other person. But for the most part, I did that. And among other things, and my claim to fame. And so as the years went by, and as the school began to know the inevitable, that, you know, it was getting old and it needed a lot of updating, and it didn't look like the powers that be, the leadership, was going to be able to make that happen. At some point, they talked about getting rid of just throwing the pillows away. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And I even, you know, I knew that times were tough. And so I went to Ted, the founder, and I said, Ted, let's, as an intern, I said, Ted, let's put these pillows up for auction. That'd be a great fundraiser. I'm sure there would be people who would fucking pay a penny, quite a penny, for these pillows. And that was not an idea he saw fit to do anything about. And so, and I was willing to do all the footwork. I'd take the pictures. I'd take pictures of them. I'd put it up on, eBay or something like that and try to make a fun or one of the platforms and try to make some money. But he did not think that was a good use of time. So as the school did come down to its end, there at some point there was some talk about they were going to throw them away, and so I went to Ted and I said, Ted, if you're going to throw these away, I would like to have some. Is that okay? And he said yes. And so I got initially 6 pillows. I opened them up. I threw away all the old foam. Oh my gosh, it had crumbled into just this dust. Got on everything. But I threw it all away, and I made the what was left, the pillows, the pillow covers, I made them into pillowcases. So they had zippers on the side, so we could take them off occasionally and go dry clean them, right, without the whole pillow. And then I made 6 pillows to fit those things. I made it by hand. I got the material. I sewed the pillows. I bought new foam to put inside it, and I put a zipper on that as well. And so for a good number of years, 5 or 6 years, I had those and used them in the living room, and they're great. They're great. And, and they're totally dry cleaned. Well, when the school finally actually ended up closing, I found a few more in a closet at the Institute. And I'm like, they're throwing everything away. I'm taking them. So I got 4 more. 6, 4, 5. Actually, yeah, I got 5 more. And so I brought them home, and eventually I did the same thing with them, made them into pillowcases. At that time, I took all the cases off and had all 11 of them dry cleaned. But in the end, one of the pillowcases had just completely disintegrated. And there was just, I've patched up and sewn up some of these pillowcases because, they're getting thin and stuff like that. But this one, there were whole sections that were just disintegrating away. So I gave that a burial, and and so now I have 11. And no, I'm sorry, I have 10. One went away. So here are the different patterns I have. So we have that great paisley stuff. I love that. And then there's another pattern that, damn, that's crazy. It's so great. And then we have, and so I have 2 of those, and I have 2 of those. I have 2 of these. This is great. Just psychedelic, marbleized pattern, and I'll show that to you when we get it on. And of course, we have it in red. So I got 2 of those and 2 of those. You can see here, there's where there was a big tear in one of them, and so I sewed that up. And then there's one in brown. Thank you, Jesus. And then I have this one, which I've always thought was just the coolest, weirdest, most interesting kind of abstract stylized abstract or something. So those are the pillows I have. And then over here are the pillows, and they're monstrous. They are 30 by 30. I think they're 30 by 38. And those are the older ones. You can kind of see they're a little faded. And these are the new ones. Look how clean they are. And what's crazy, the foam we got in today for them, see how tight this is now? When we got 20 pounds of foam in this box, and it was all in a bag that the air had been taken out. So it was like solid as a rock. And so as we cut it open and the foam came out, we put it in all 4 of these things, but they were hardly full. They were hardly full. They were, the material was very loose around the edges, and, at the end, and these things have just grown right into them. And as you can see, these are the same size, but, they had like a 6-year head start. So they're kind of stretched out. It's kind of strange. And so here are the final products, all restuffed, all dry cleaned, all like brand new, kinda. And I am so thrilled. And you can know anytime that you have a workshop with me and these pillows are used, you can know that you're laying cleanly, I must say, but you're laying on sexual history. Yes, all kinds of sexological giants have sat and experience things on these pillows. Who knows who's been here? So thanks. It's not necessarily the most sexy of stories, but an important sexological story nonetheless. Thanks for listening.